Did I get it? No? Yes, I did. All right. Hello. I'm so glad to be here with you. I really am, and I don't know why I go through this every time, but it is what it is, right? I'm Deanna Blackman, Stampin' Dee Dee, and I'm here with you this morning because it's Stampin' Thursday. Every Thursday morning at 10 o'clock, I get to be here with you. So, if you're live, if you're watching this live, please comment and let me know that you're watching it live. I love to hear your comments. I love to hear where you're from. I love to hear any suggestions you may have. All right. I'm making sure that everything's okay, and it is. Today, I'm doing this a week early. Normally, I introduce the Stamp Club of the month the first Thursday of the month, but that is so late in the first week of July that you would only have 4 or 5 days to consider joining or not. So, I decided to introduce this July Stamp Club of the month today. And Timeless Arrangements is this bundle that we're going to be using, and that's what we'll use for the monthly club kit. Now, what you get for $35, you get you get 8 cards, 4 kits, using the Timeless Arrangements with 2 cards. So it's 2 cards for each of 4 designs. So there's 4 different cards. You get kits for 2 each. So you get 8 cards. And I think in my description I put 4 cards. I forgot to put 2 each of 4 designs. So you get 8 cards. You get a full color PDF tutorial showing you everything you need to know. You get this demonstration of one of the cards, and you get $20 to $25 in free new products along with your club. So, most of the time, those free products will be something that you can use on the cards in the kit. Maybe not every time, but most times I try to do that. All right, all of that for $35. If you participate 6 months in a row, you get a bonus swag bag with $25 in free products in it. So, and if you, all right, so let's say you don't have Timeless Arrangements, which I hope you do. You will love it. If you don't have it, you can order it. And if you order it through me, I will pay the shipping and the tax. And if you don't have it and you don't feel like you can order it right now, then you can use one of your own stamp sets. You can substitute from one of your own stamp sets. So, you know, you still get the card kits, you still get the free products, all of it. So anyway, Timeless Arrangements is the bundle that we're going to use today. So, yeah, let's see. Dying to Know is coming up. The first Tuesday in July is the 4th of July. None of us are going to be home that evening, right? So I'm moving Dying to Know to that Monday night, which is July 3rd. Monday night at 7 o'clock, Dying to Know, and we're going to look at Darling Details. So that's one of those stamp sets you may skip over. You skim over in the catalog. I did that. So we're going to look at that stamp set on the Dying to Know, and you'll see some ways to use it that maybe you didn't realize it could be used that way. All right. I think we're ready to try to turn the camera down. Let's see how this goes. And get busy with Timeless Arrangements. So, hang on. All right. I think we're there. Let's put my... Oh, no, we're not. We're upside down. So I'm going to turn it. Hang on. Don't get dizzy. Hang on. If I could get my hand around it, I would... Now, let me clamp it down. All right. Now. Okay. Here we go. Timeless arrangements. And you know what? I'm going to pull it up just a little bit. So you maybe get a little bit broader picture. All right. This is Timeless Arrangements. It's a set with quite a few sentiments, and one of the neatest things about this set is how these sentiments can be used. Hold on a minute. Let me make sure my sound is off here. Oh. All right. So, for example, you might use the sentiment, thank you. And then inside you could put, you are the best. Or, thank you. And then maybe down at the bottom on another strip, very much. How about, you make me smile. For always believing in me. You could put that on the inside. Or, your kindness means everything to me. Just can't, let's see. Your kindness means everything to me. Hope your day is filled with everything good. There's lots of ways. I appreciate you very much. A very big thank you. There's lots of ways that these sentiments can be used. So you'll have to play around with it and see what works best for you. And then you also have the stems and the flowers. And this is a background filler, and we're going to use that, I think, on our card today. I love this. It kind of looks like bubbles. Then you also have the cross, the X's, that you can play around with as well. All right, so let's look at the dies, because in my opinion, again, this is another one of those sets. While the stamps are great, sentiments are great, the dies are what make this set. So you've got 3 different sentiment labels here, and I love that. They're sized so that they fit the sentiments in the set. And then you have a flower die that will cut out that flower. You have a stem die that will cut out that stem. You have another stem die that will cut out that stem. This will cut out this. It'll cut out that. This one will cut out this one. And these are just extra little flowers. Well, I think maybe, no, they're just extra little stems and pieces that you can work into your arrangement. But the star of the show are these dies right here that you can cut and layer on top of each other to make easy arrangements. So we're going to look at that. We're going to look at that in just a minute. Let's see. Let me get this back here. And get this one back up here. All right. All right, so we're going to set that aside. And for our, let's see, the card that we're going to make today together, and this is one in your stamp set, is this one right here. So we're going to do this one together. This is using the bubble background that I mentioned to you. It's using the flower, the stem dies. It's using one of the sentiment labels. It's using the little flower stamp and die that's in there. And then this is from the Irresistible Blooms die set. And so we're going to use that too. All right, let's get busy with this card. First thing you need is an 8.5 by 5.5 base. And we want to score it at 4 1/4. And I have learned that the easiest way to score and get it really even is to snug it up into the corner of my trimmer, hold it, and fold it. Hold it and fold it. And so you get it even every time when you do that. Then I'm going to get my bone folder, burnish that, and make it a good clean fold. So now we've got this, and the next thing that we want to do is go ahead and cut out this piece right here. And this is with the die from the Irresistible Blooms. So we're going to set this aside. We're going to position it just a little bit above the bottom. And I want to position it so that both sides will cut free. So I don't want it snug here because this will not cut free, or snug here. I want it right in the middle so that both sides will cut free. And for this, I'm going to have to bring in the big one. And I forgot about that. So let me, the others we can do with the little one. But this one, we have to have the big one. So here we go. Let me position it on here, unfold it, position it. You have to get it right in the center so the die fits on the machine. And it's just a little bit from the bottom. Now, if you wanted to tape it down, if you're not comfortable cutting it without taping it down, then grab you a couple of pieces of washi tape, or this is that Post-it. I'm going to make sure I got it straight now. That Post-it label tape. And then we're going to put the top layer on here and run it through. It's going to make a noise when it clicks over the die. All right, got that done. We'll move our machine back over here. Now we want to hold on to this piece because we're going to use it on the front of our card. And we're going to real carefully take this off, take our tape off. Tape off, put it back on our machine. Now, we're going to use our take a pick tool. Move this off. And we keep this. And now we're ready to get this out. So there are some big pieces, and you will get this piece already die cut in your kit because you're not expected to have extraneous dies that I may use. So, but I'm showing you how to do it. You'll have it already cut and punched out. So that part will be done for you. But should you decide that you like the die in Irresistible Blooms, and there's a round one in that die set too that is just so fun to use. All right, here I'm trying to, it's a very delicate die. I mean, it's delicate pieces. All right, I'm going to set the die aside, and I'm going to have to get my big pieces out. So I'm going to take them out. And you may have to do that because I probably will not take the time to get the pieces out. So you're probably going to have to do that. This is the hardest part of it, and it's not hard. It's just a little time consuming because you want to get it right. Now, I peeled off a little of the cardstock right there, so I'm just going to snip it and take it out. By the way, this is the Pebbled Path cardstock, which is one of the new in colors, the 23, 25 in colors. There's that. Get this piece and this piece and this piece. Now, they're not going to come apart because they're connected in different places. So you don't have to worry about all of these bubbly lines coming apart. They don't. But you do have to get all those little center pieces out. There's one there. Here's one here. Okay. This is a stubborn one. This one does not want to come out. There. I got it. This takes a little bit of time. That's it. That's all of them. So here we have our piece. We're going to set it right there. I'm going to take this, empty it in the trash. Put this up. All right. Now, here's our piece here. And what we're going to do is fit it back into, we have to put something under it first, but it's going to fit back into this where it was cut from just perfectly. So we're going to do that here in a minute. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is take the piece of Moody Mauve, this piece right here, and it'll be 5.5 by, I think it was 2 inches. This too will already be cut and in your set, 2 inches. And we're going to glue it right under here so that it is level with the bottom. So I'm going to position it there. I'm going to get my Tombow glue. And I'm going to run it right along this edge. Right along this edge. And just a little bit right there. Just a little. All right. We're going to keep this positioned at the bottom. Bring this over. Secure it. Just hold it down a minute. I want to make sure it's even at the bottom. All right. Give it just a minute to dry. Then we're going to take the piece that we cut out And we've got it going the right way. See, it fits right into these holes right here. The baubles, the circles fit right into those holes. So I'm going to take it, turn it over this way, because I'm going to turn it back over that way. And I'm going to put a dot of glue, not much, because you don't want your glue leaking everywhere. And if there's an end piece, I want to try to get it on one of the end piece baubles, but I'm just putting it where the circles are. You see, I'm just putting the tiniest dot of glue where the circles are. And hold it here, put it here, here, and here. I think we've got enough. Now I'm going to take it, turn it over, and position it right inside those holes. And then you have to hold it down. You need to hold it down so that it will adhere. Okay. That should have done it. All right, I think it's adhered down. And now we're going to take this piece, and this piece is going to fit right back in there, just like that. So we're going to take it, turn it forward, put a line of glue on it, pick it up, turn it over, and fit it in right where the I'm moving this one down just a tad, but you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. I can always come along, and I'm going to do that right now. If I didn't get it perfectly even, which I didn't, then I'll just come along and right along that edge, I'll trim it. I needed to trim it just a little bit more. There we go. I think I got it that time. There we go. All right. There's always a way to fix things. Always a way. Now, if you see any little edges that might not have gotten glued down, like that little edge right there, did not get glued. So I'm having to put the tiniest little dot right there to get that down. And then there's one over here that didn't have a bobble on the end, so it didn't glue down. But hopefully I've got enough on it that it'll glue. Okay, now we have that part done. The next thing we're going to need to do is stamp our background. So we'll come back to our stamp set, and we're gonna, that sentiment piece doesn't want to stay. Does not want to stay. Let's see if I can get it a little further up. We're gonna get our baubles right here. So I'm gonna peel this off. Put my thank you back where it goes. Put this over here for right now. And we're going to get our little bubble things. And we're going to use the Pebbled Path. Can I put it in here? Yeah, I did. We're going to use the Pebbled Path ink. And we're just going to stamp some background on it. So I'm going to undo this because I want to do some, And I think what I did is stamped off first. I want to do just a couple down here. And then one right there. One up here. And now I want to do this one stamped on the edge. And that one stamped on the edge. And then I'm going to come along and do one here. And one here. And maybe one there. We're going to have flowers in this area. But we can put maybe one more right here. All right, so we've got a background. Clean my stamp. Get the ink off my finger, which I always get ink on my finger. Always, always, always. Oh, before I do that, we also have a sentiment piece, which you will have in your kit already cut for you. Now, nothing in your kit will be stamped. So, if you do not have timeless arrangements and you want a background, you'll need to find a stamp, a background stamp that you have that you can stamp the background and stamp the sentiment piece with. All right, so I need to do that. I want to stamp just a few on my sentiment piece just to coordinate it a little bit. That's all I'm going to do. I want to leave room for the sentiment, although it will show up anyway. All right, I'm going to put my stamp away. And while I've got this out, I'm just going to go ahead and let me find my You Make Me Smile. No. You Make Me Smile. So I'm going to find that stamp and go ahead and stamp my sentiment. And you will have to find your own sentiments. If you've got the stamp set, of course, you can use what I use, but you don't have to. All right. I want to get it straight. You make me smile. There we go. You make me smile. What a great sentiment to send to somebody. Somebody who maybe lifts you up in hard times or just always has a smile on their face and cheerful. And all right, so we've got our sentiment piece done. We do have one more thing we need to stamp. And again, if you do not have this set, then you can, oh, looky here, I've already stamped it. But it will not be stamped in your set. It will not be. That's according to Stampin' Up! Guidelines. So I'm going to take my Stampin' Right markers, and I'm going to use these to color this image. You could use blender pens, you could use watercolor pens, whatever you have that you want to use. And this is the Moody Mauve. So I'm going to just, it's a very simple process to color this in. Come on and do the outside, and then I'll do the inside. And I'll show you what I do if I don't have blender pens. With blender pens, you could use your dark for the outside here, and you could use your light for the inside. But in case you don't have them, and the Stampin' Right markers are a lot less expensive, and I just update every year. I get the new in colors, and this year, of course, it's a refresh, so I had to get the new core colors, but that won't happen every year. You'll just have to get the new in colors. So I have the not the blender pen, but the color lifter. And I'm just going to come along with this color lifter and go over the inside just a little bit, because what it's going to do is lift some of that color. And we'll just wait for that to dry. All right. So I've did my Moody Mauve, and now I'm going to do my Pebbled Path. And the Pebbled Path, you know, I think the color lifter only works on the blender pens. I had forgotten that. So, scratch the color lifter. What you could do, if you do want to get a blended look, you can come back and go over these outside petals. And when you go over them, it's going to make them darker. You'll see in a minute. Yeah, I think the blender pen, I hadn't thought about that, or the color lifter, only works with the alcohol markers. And these are not alcohol, these are water-based. All right, so I've darkened the outside just a little bit, and I think you can see the difference in that. Let's see. Hopefully you can, yeah, a little bit. Anyway, now we're going to use our die and cut this little gem out. And we can do that with our mini cut emboss. So I'm going to position it and put some tape down. I'm going to move this piece and move this up a little bit. All right. And now, so my plate is here somewhere. What's that do with my plate? Yeah. There it is. It must be around here somewhere. I'm just not seeing it. All right. Put that in there. Run it through and cut out our little flower. There we go. There's our flower, and it looks like it's hard to get that stem because you can't see through the metal. So what I do when it doesn't come exactly the way I want it to is I get my Stampin' Right marker and I just come along here and create my own stem. And I think I had to do that on this one too. I'm just not real good at getting that on. All right, so we have, I've got a mess I've got to clean up. I don't know what happened here, but mess. All right, here we go. I'll put my die back with my... All right, I think now we are ready to cut our stems. So we're going to use the leaf stem and the flower stem. And the stem with the holes in the end. We're going to use those. And the paper we're going to use, I just picked up scratch pieces of paper. The leaf stem, we're going to use wild wheat, which is the one of the new in colors. And you have to be careful. Wild wheat is, this die is not going to fit on every... Now I could get it to fit on that one, barely. You have to make sure that it's wide enough because this die has a piece sticking down. So this piece was 2.5 inches. And you want to make sure that it fits. I'm going to get this up so that you can see. All right, so we're going to use this one on the wild wheat. You know what I want to do? I want to put that one on the bottom and this one on top. Let me get that stem cut. I'm scrunching around, aren't I? Alright, and then we're going to cut the one with the holes in it. We're going to cut that from the pebbled path. Let's go. Put it through. We've got that one. We'll poke them out in a minute. I want to get all our die cutting done. And then the flowers, we're going to do that from the Moody Mauve. Now, we didn't use all the stems. I think there's still one that I didn't use, but I only needed 3 on this card. All right, let's set that aside. Bring our card back in. Set that aside. Here we go. So now we're gonna get these out and use our take a peek tool and just poke them out. They come out pretty easy. There's that one. And I'm going to put these dies away as I poke them out. So here's our pebbled path. And like I said, this is the one with the holes in it. Makes it unique. So you have to make sure you've got all those holes poked out. All but the littlest one. All right, got that one. Put that away. And then our wild wheat leaves. Here we go. They're easy, easy to get out. Easy, easy. There's just one little piece we need to poke. Okay. So now we have our 3 stems, and I want to put my leaves in the back. So I'm going to put my leaves down first. I want my flowers in the front. So you see these the little bar, they're all the same size. And this set is designed so that if you put one bar on top of the other for all of the stems, then those flowers those stems and leaves, they're going to be equally spaced and you'll be able to see everything. Isn't that cool? So I'm going to put some adhesive right along that base piece, and I'll put this one next. Hold it down a minute. And then I'm going to put my flowers on top. You can layer them any way you want, but this is the way I wanted mine layered. I'm going to put that bar right on top of the other bar. Hold it down. While I'm holding, I'm looking to see if anybody has commented. I don't see any comments. I need to. All right. Well, if you're watching, holler out, comment, and let me know that you're watching. All right. I know a lot of you watch the replay, and I appreciate that. I really, really do. All right. Then we need some Moody Mauve ribbon. And you will get that in your kit as well. And it's all in which direction you want it to lay. So I'm going to put my glue on my ribbon. I want it to be just above my cutout piece, snug up against the edge. Let me look at it, make sure it's straight up and down. There we go. And then I'm going to glue this right above the ribbon. Right above the ribbon. And I think, let's see. Yeah, I did. I put it on with dimensionals. So, let's see here. I'll use the mini dimensionals and put them along here. Put 3 of them on just to make sure that it holds it down. So if you're watching the replay, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate that. It's always fun to have live people watching, but I do so appreciate you watching the replay as well. All right, we're going to put that right there on top of the ribbon. And then we're going to take our sentiment piece and I'm going to glue it to the stems, but I'm going to put a glue dot right at the bottom on each edge because that's where it will not have a dimensional under it. All right, let me put glue along the top. Glue this down, and of course it's going to be on the ribbon a little bit. I'm holding it down on the stems for just a minute so it'll adhere to the stems since I put glue, but then they'll pop right back up. Okay, this ribbon frays, so you have to deal with that. All right, and then our flower here. Yeah, I did. I put one little mini glue dot right on this bottom one. And then I put glue up here and on the leaf. Because that's really all that's going to touch There we go. How's that? Look how those lay. Isn't that just gorgeous? I love the way they do that. All right, the only thing we need still are our 23, 25 in color dots. And I'm going to use the wild wheat. And I'm going to use one here, one here, and one on the sentiment label. All right, there we go. Our finished card. Well, not totally. I say that, but it's not totally finished because we have an inside to do on this one. So we're going to get our piece of basic white. And I could have stamped that. I should have stamped that when I was stamping the other, but I didn't. So we're going to do it now. We're going to stamp our flower. How did I do it? Yeah, I just stamped it right here. And we're going to stamp a few bubbles. See how I did it? And I stamped these off. So I'm going to stamp off again. Stamp off. Stamp off. Stamp off. I'm just kind of going up the card and stamp off. There we go. All right. Then all we need to do is get our Stampin' Write marker. And we only need the Moody Mauve because we're not cutting this one out. So I'm just going to come along here. I'm using the pen tip. You could use the brush tip. Sometimes when you're using small images, coloring small images, I think it's just easier to use the pen tip. All right. Almost got this one done. And now we have an inside that will be pleasing when you open it up. Oh, I do need the green, the pebble pad. Leaves. Okay. Do the leaves real quick. There we go. Now we're done. And we're going to adhere that to the inside. Now we're done. Got this one done. Get the inside in. Ready for your greeting, whatever that may be. There we go. You make me smile. So, that is one of the ways, one of the cards that will be in the kit. This is another card that will be in the kit. Let me put some of this away so that we have room for all 4 cards. Okay. Yes. So this one is done on the boho blue, which is another one of the new in colors. I love that. And I'm going to show you how I did that real quick. So once again, we're going to stamp the little flower. And I believe I did that in pecan pie. So, which is another in color. Pecan pie. Stamp that. And that. And that. So the only coloring that I did, now I stamped the leaves in the middle, but I just wanted to demonstrate to you how I did the coloring. I used my blender pen, which is this pen right here, and I used my white ink pad. So you want to squeeze your ink pad to get a little bit of the ink in the lid, and it's a little harder to tell, but I can see it. All right. So you take your image, get your blender pen, it doesn't matter which brush you use, and pick up some of that ink and come along in here and color your flowers. Now, as it dries, it's going to lighten. So I'm going to show you what I did. We're just going to do 2 of these. I'll do the other one later. I just wanted you to see that you can color things white. Now, if I want the outside to be a little darker, I'm going to come straight to the ink pad. And it's definitely darker. You see that? You see how much darker it is? It'll lighten as it dries, but it'll definitely be darker than the inside, which gives you that dimensional effect. All right, that's it. And then to clean your blender pen, you just come along on your scratch pad and do that, and it's ready to go for your next project. All right, that's it. That's how we did this one. Let me show these. Here's another one. Now on this one, I only used 2 of the stems. And I put one behind the other, and I stamped my sentiment on the front of the stem. And they layer beautifully. On this one, I just did random. And I even cut out a couple of the singles and stuck them in. So this one, I wanted the little window box to look really full. So I did a bunch. And then on this one, I wanted it to come all the way down. So again, I didn't stack them, but I did on this one and this one. So you see, there's lots of ways that you can do this. Thank you for always being there. And I put one of the gems on the label and the other 2 on the inside, but they show to the outside. So these are the cards that you will receive if you do the July Monthly Stamp Club. You will receive all of these already cut out, everything already cut out. This is embossed with, I think it's the Taiwan embossing folder, painted, it's a painted texture embossing folder. And then this one is the Timber 3D to make it look like a window box. All right. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. The deadline to sign up for the July Stamp Club is July 10th. So you have to sign up before July 10th so that I can have plenty of time to order the supplies and to order your free products. So July 10th is the deadline to sign up and to pay me. And you can pay via Venmo or PayPal or Zara if you have it. Or you can send me a check. So, or cash. I'll take any of that. So, if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much for watching on YouTube. I appreciate it. I hope you'll comment. Many of you do. And I always look at those comments. Thank you for watching the live. And be sure and let me know that you're here. All right. I hope you have a great rest of your week and weekend. God bless you. And I'll see you next Thursday. Bye.